And as the Russia-Ukraine war enters day 19, there is no end to the relentless shelling by the Russian forces. And as the Russian troops continue to inch closer towards the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, at least 2 people have been killed in a Russian strike on a residential building in the capital. This, according to the city's emergency services. The visuals of the residential building on your screen right now. Reports also saying that the Antonov aircraft plant in Kyiv has been shelled by Russian forces. And for more on these developments, let's go straight across to our correspondent Anas Malik, who is currently in Kyiv and joining us live from the location of that airstrike. Anas, tell us more about what you see around you.
Well, Molly, this morning in the outskirts of Kyiv, in the Oblon area, this is Kyiv region where an airstrike took place, and it is unclear whether this was shells or artillery, because the residents say that all they heard were sounds and explosions. Now, this is the aftermath of these of the airstrike that took place that is presumed to be shelling. It's a residential compound in the Oblon area, that is east of Kyiv, and about 200 to 250 people used to live here, and you can see the debris lying around. It's telling a story in itself. When we got here, we saw residents leaving with whatever little belongings they had and trying to go towards considerable safety. At least 2 people are dead. This is very close to Kyiv. It's northeast of Kyiv. It's 18 kilometers from the city center. Even now, when we got here, we heard shelling being done in distance. There are a couple of residents who I have managed to speak to, and they say that they're in a state of disbelief because this is a residential compound. This is an all-civilian residential compound. Nobody from the armed forces was here, and they say that they are shell-shocked and rather surprised as to why this would be targeted. Molly?
Right, we understand the Antonov aircraft plant in Kyiv has also been shelled by the Russian forces. What more can you tell us about that, Anas?
Well, yes, today at around 7:40 a.m. local time is when we saw shelling. We heard the sounds of shelling being done, and then reports emerged. And after that, it was confirmed by local authorities that the Antonov aircraft factory has been shelled. The main assembly plant area has been shelled. It is still unclear with regards to the number of casualties that may have occurred there. But one thing that is clear is the fact that Russian side is targeting any of the military installations which it believes can facilitate the Ukrainian side. The Antonov factory area, of course, being a civilian aircraft or a transport cargo aircraft. Therefore, we understand that there could have been people around the plant, but an official figure with regards to any number of casualties is yet to come back. But coming back to where I am right now, we're seeing that residents are going. In fact, if I can just show you, those are streaks of rocket fire that are visible in the sky. Those white lines that you see, those are streaks of rocket fire that is very visible on the skies clearly visible on the skies of Kyiv. You probably see those streaks coming in from the left side. Those are streaks of rocket fire that are very clearly visible, and this is around the area of the place which was shelled today by the Russian side. So residents here say that they're in a state of disbelief, and that they are trying to move to safety from here. More than 250 people used to live in these compounds, in these residential compounds, residential civilian compounds. In fact, if I'll just show you, there is a civilian who is just managing to come out from his, bringing his belongings out of his residence. You can see the police are trying to help him evacuate. He's here with all of his belongings. You can probably see that they've taken the staircase near to him. and helping him come out of his house so that he can be taken. He can go out and try to live a considerably safer life, given that the Russian attacks on the city or in the outskirts of the city of Kyiv continue. Molly?
Right, and as you're telling us, Anas, you have been speaking to some of the locals, some of the residents there at that residential building that was targeted and 2 people have lost their lives. Tell us more about what they have told you.
Well, they say that at around 5 a.m. in the morning is when we saw, I'll just get aside and show you this civilian who's coming out from this residential compound that was targeted, and he has his belongings. He's trying to move to safety, and he's being facilitated by the police personnel around. You can the residents that are coming back, the residents that I spoke to today, they said that it was around 5 a.m. when they heard shelling and loud explosions around the vicinity, and it was followed by a fire as well. And that's when they understood that their own residential compound has been hit. A lot of people have left already, and only a handful of them remain, and they're also on the move to leave this area and move to considerable safety. Molly?
Anas Malik getting us those updates from the site, the residential area that was targeted earlier in the day. 2 people have lost their lives. Thanks very much for getting us up to speed with the latest coming in from on the ground, Anas Malik. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.